The hum of the engine, the endless stretch of asphalt under the pale moonlight for a long-haul trucker like me. This is just another Tuesday night. My name's Dave, and I've been driving these lonely roads for over 20 years. I've seen my fair share of strange things, but nothing could have prepared me for what happened on a desolate stretch of Highway 50 in Nevada, often called the loneliest road in America. It was around 2 in the morning. The world outside my cab was a sea of inky black, punctuated only by the twin beams of my headlights cutting through the darkness. The radio had been static for the last hour, so it was just me, my thoughts, and the rhythmic thump of the tires on the pavement. That's when I first saw it, a flicker of movement on the side of the road, just at the edge of my headlight's reach. I slowed down, thinking it was probably a deer or a coyote. It's common out here. As I got closer, the shape became clearer. It wasn't an animal, it was a person, standing perfectly still, facing away from the road. They were wearing what looked like old, tattered clothing. My first thought was that their car had broken down. I pulled over about 50 feet ahead, leaving my engine running and my high beams on. I grabbed my heavy-duty flashlight and stepped out of the cab. The desert air was cold and bit at my exposed skin. "Hey, you need a hand," I shouted, my voice sounding small in the vast emptiness. There was no reply. The figure didn't move a muscle. I started walking towards them. The crunch of gravel under my boots, a loud intrusion into the silence. "Hello, everything all right?" I called out again, a little louder this time. Still nothing. A weird feeling started to creep up my spine. Something was off. The way they were standing, so rigid, so unnaturally still. It wasn't right. I was about 20 feet away when they finally moved. They turned their head, slowly, mechanically, until they were looking right at me. And that's when my blood ran cold. Where their face should have been, there was nothing. Just a smooth, blank surface, like a mannequin's head. But it was reflecting my flashlight beam in a way that skin shouldn't. I froze, my hand trembling, the flashlight beam shaking. My mind was screaming, trying to make sense of what I was seeing. It was impossible. Before I could react, before I could even take a breath, the figure started walking towards me. Its movements were jerky and unnatural, like a puppet on strings. Each step was slow, deliberate, and utterly silent. No crunch of gravel, no sound of footsteps. Just this horrifying, blank-faced thing gliding towards me in the dead of night. My trucker instincts, the ones that have kept me safe for 2 decades, finally kicked in. I didn't scream, I didn't shout, I just turned and ran. I scrambled back into my cab, my heart pounding against my ribs like a drum. I slammed the door shut and locked it, fumbling with the keys in the ignition even though the engine was already running. I threw the truck into gear and stomped on the accelerator. The tire squealed in protest as I peeled out, leaving a cloud of dust and gravel in my wake. I didn't dare look in my rearview mirror for the first few miles. I just drove, my eyes glued to the road ahead, my knuckles white on the steering wheel. When I finally did glance in the mirror, the road behind me was empty. Just a long, dark, lonely highway stretching into nothingness. There was no sign of the figure. It was as if it had never been there. I drove for another 2 hours straight, not stopping until I reached the bright lights of a 24-hour truck stop. I stumbled inside, shaking, and ordered the strongest coffee they had. The waitress must have seen the look on my face because she asked if I was okay. I just nodded, unable to find the words to explain what I'd seen. I tried to rationalize it. Was I did I hallucinate the whole thing? I've driven longer shifts, been more exhausted than I was that night. and my mind has never played tricks on me like that. I know what I saw. The smooth, featureless face, the silent gliding walk, it's burned into my memory. I've talked to other truckers about it since. Most of them just laugh it off, tell me I've been on the road too long. But a few, the older guys who've spent a lifetime on these same forgotten highways, they just nod slowly and get a distant look in their eyes. They have their own stories, their own encounters with things that can't be explained. I still drive that route, it's part of my job, but I never ever drive that particular stretch of Highway 50 at night anymore. I'll pull over and wait for the sun to rise if I have to, because I know what's out there in the darkness, waiting on the side of the loneliest road in America, and I have no intention of ever stopping for it again. What do you think I saw out there? A ghost? Something else? Let me know your theories in the comments. Thanks for listening, and stay safe out there. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories from the road.